Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. And you know what? I just thought I'll make another video today. Every morning I try to make a video, but right now I wasn't able to think of exactly what to offer you guys today, and it was getting a little bit too late. We have to do the editing, we have to basically do a lot of other things. So I figured, hey, what the heck? Maybe I can just go live, clarify you guys' doubts. I already mentioned I should do this once a month, and I think it's already been about 20 days since the last one. So yeah, why not? Since it is the peak period. All right, I can see a lot of people coming in. All right, we have about 60 people joined in right now. Really happy to see the response, guys. All right, cool. How can I help you? You can start sending your doubts in, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Hmm. All right. All right. So I can see the doubts are starting to come in about 2022. A lot of people are already interested in the 2022 batch. I can understand that because 2021 is, it's not over yet. The applications for fall are still going on. But definitely, 2022 is coming up soon. So Teja is asking whether the GRE is going to be needed for 2022. And I would suggest, you know what, man, don't risk it. Don't risk it. Prepare for the GRE, get a good score, because a lot of universities are already denying waiving the GRE for fall 2021 as well. They waived it in spring, but they're not doing it in fall. And what that tells me is that not every university is going to be continuing with this scheme of the waivers. So essentially, what you should do, what you should really be focusing on, is taking your GRE and preparing for it. Hey, if you get lucky, maybe next year some universities will waive it off, but otherwise you should be protected from your end. So try to take the test, try to make sure that you get a good score. You already have a lot of time right now. 2 to 3 months should be more than enough. I already have a schedule on my YouTube, on Grad blogs as well. You can go ahead, you can check it out. All right. Um, okay. Okay, I can see a couple of other questions coming in. Um, so Okay, they're a little bit too fast. Anyway, so Raul asks, I'm a first year student in my BTech. What should I work on to get top admits? So Raul, I think if you're in your first year, what you should really be focusing on is number one, the major criteria that universities always focus on, no matter where you go, is your GPA. That needs to be good. Okay, because that shows you can perform academically at the other university as well when you attend another university. The second thing you should focus on is research, because top universities, top 10, top 15, they're always looking for research. They always want people who have done intensive research. And I'm not saying research with just, your friends, but actually try to engage with some professors. And I think you'll have some awesome, awesome results in the next 3 years. Right? Um, Okay. Vishal says, should I take work experience from college placements of around 2 years, then go for MSCS? So Vishal, the MSCS program is not really, see, it's a thesis, it's a research-based program, to be very honest with you. You don't really need any work experience to get in. Yes, it can help when you're going ahead finding jobs wherever you go. It can be the US, it can be Australia, it can be Canada, but it's not really required. In the case of MBA, it is required that you should have some work experience. All right. Mm, okay. All right. Let's see. The questions. Abhishek says, can you tell me how to write the university specific paragraph in the SOP, how to make it better, and from where do we get the information? So Abhishek, I can't really go into the details of the process because that's really what we, specialize on. Like we have a process and we focus on it, but you can take a look at the services we offer. And, if you'd like to do it yourself, then really it's about finding the right professor, finding the alignment, and making sure that you're talking about a research that he is currently doing and not the one that he has done maybe 2 years back, 3 years back, because that's stale. He's not working on that anymore, and you're writing about that. That's not really going to help you. So keep these things in mind. All right. mm, I can see um, Deb Bhattacharya is asking, can you make a video on PhDs in Europe? Sure. I mean, see, it really depends on the demand. If you guys would like to see a video on PhDs in Europe, what I'll do is I'll, pull some strings, I'll do my research, and I'll get the video out in front of you within the next 1 week. So, it's really important to see the kind of response. So what you can do is you can show me if other people are also interested in something like that. I'll be more than happy to help. Hmm. Nemish asks any PhD interview tips. So Nemish, not every application needs an interview in case of the PhD as well. It depends on your university. It depends on the program you're applying to. It depends on a lot of factors. You will not always need, you can say, a face-to-face interview or even video interviews or video scripts for your PhDs. It depends, really. It depends. For MBAs, yes, you'll almost always need it. For or basically for even for PhD programs which are in management. But apart from that, I've seen a lot of PhD applications where you don't really need any interviews to begin with. If you're still interviewing, make sure that you've done your research right. You know the university, why you're going to that university is a question that's always going to come up in the interview, and you need to have that information with you. All right. All right. Sai asks, I'm planning for fall 2021. When should I start my visa processing? So, Sai, you should start your visa processing once, again, depending on which country you are going to. Since you did not mention any context, I'm saying, hey, if you're going to US, wait for your I-20. If you're going to Canada, you need to have the admission letter for the very least to begin your visa process. So again, it depends on your country, but I think it's safe to state that you need an admit first. Once you have the admit in your hands, that's when you can start your visa processing. And again, after that, you have to check the country specific requirements. All right. So Ritika asks, IELTS or TOEFL for Germany. So Ritika, I would suggest taking the IELTS, but generally check which test is being accepted by your university. Let's say you're applying to 10, 15 universities in total. Just make sure you check the admission requirements and find out which test they are all accepting. If it's the TOEFL, then go with TOEFL. If it's the IELTS, then go with IELTS. And similarly, Bharat has asked IELTS or TOEFL for USA. For US, TOEFL is generally better in my opinion. All right. Hmm. Okay. Uh, so Cholrota Gil says, how long should a research internship be for it to be included in the CV? So it really depends. I mean, it can be just 2 or 3 months as well. Depends on your context. Were there extenuating circumstances that you could not get out of, that maybe your college imposed that you could not do more than 2 months, then it's fine. You can just write about 2 months. But generally, I would say anything over 5, 6 months is very, very good. It looks good on your CV. It shows that you've been committed to the research, and it shows that you can actually go ahead and really commit to one field, one area, one project. And I think that's a very important criteria as well. It can show your research interests, it can bolster them, it can fortify them. So yeah. um all right. Eureka says, do you regret coming back to India? No, not at all, man. Not at all. I feel really good right now. Okay. Janam Shah asks, still, which month can I apply for fall 2021 USA? So if you want the absolute end date, and this is for, I'm not saying just the tier one universities, even tier three universities, you can apply it to any university, you don't have any preferences, then you can apply till even, March or April 2021. But if you're applying to good universities, you want to maximize your chances, you should not hold the process for more than maybe January 2021. That's probably the maximum I would take it. Maybe Feb, but not more than that. All right. Mm, okay, I can see a couple of more questions. Fall 2021, Pankaj says, I've shown my cousin as my sponsor on I-20 because my dad has shown low income on his ITR. Though I have been awarded 100% funding, what is your advice for the F1 visa? Well, I mean, if you've already been awarded 100% funding, you just need to show that you can finance your stay, that you can finance your living expenses, and that's really it. You don't really need to show more than that. So I think even if your cousin is sponsoring you, as long as you have enough funds to support your stay, that's good enough. And apart from that, you're going to be getting some jobs as well. So either way, your stay is going to be covered. Although I'm very interested in knowing which program and university gave you the full funding, and maybe even we can do a video about that if you prefer. So what I want you to do is, if possible, if you'd be interested in something like that, you can reach out to me on Instagram. Just hit me up. I remember your name now. So yeah, it would help, and I think it would help a lot of other people as well. All right. Hmm. Okay, I see we have a couple more people asking about. I got a campus 6 month internship which starts later, so should I mention it in my CV for application? I mean, if Apurva, it's like if your internship has not really started, then there's really no point, mentioning it. You can mention that you're working at so and so company, starting from maybe February 2021, and to later starts. You can write down starts in February 2021, but that's about it. You cannot mention anything about the experience over there because you had none at this point. All right. Okay. Mm, Part says my GRE score is 281. Is it possible to get admission in fall 2021? Part, you're actually very, very lucky because a lot of universities are waiving off the GRE to begin with. So I would suggest not going with that score at all. Don't apply with that score at all. In fact, if you come to me, I would be giving you the universities that are not accepting the GRE at all. They don't want it. So yeah, you should definitely consider going with the non-GRE or GRE waived list. And in that case, I think you'd be very good to go. All right. Um, so Soren Shah asks GMAT score 680, TOEFL score is 110. Also have experience of 4 years. Any chance of getting admission in one of the top MBAs? So Soren, your scores appear to be top notch, definitely, but you also need leadership experience. You also need, apart from that, your 4 years of experience should be where you're managing other people. Apart from that, you need a couple more things. It's not just about your experience and your scores, but generally, I think you do stand a chance to get into some good programs. All right. Hmm. All right. All right. So as far as I can see, there's a couple more. Teja asks, my semester exams are going to end in August 2021. Is it better for me to apply for Jan intake 2022 in the US? Okay. Mm, so see, it's, your semester exams are ending in 2021. That means you can potentially go for fall 2021 as well. You can even apply right now. But if you want, you can maybe, take a 5 6 month break and you can go for spring 2022. Both are possible. Yes. Okay. Ali asks, what's the source of salaries on YMgrad? So I think the source is basically, see, you will find that they're only given for business programs, and the source is actually the class profile on the official websites of the universities. So every university gives you a class profile that, hey, these are the kinds of students who get in, these are the kinds of salaries they bag. So yeah, that's where we get the information from. Okay. um all right, let's see a couple more. Raghuram says, I got a TOEFL score of 99, but the universities to which I thought of applying to are asking for 100. Can I apply to those universities? Potentially, you may be able to. So, you may get a conditional admit, but I would recommend actually reaching out to the graduate admissions committee and asking them this question that, I have a 99, should I still apply? Would you possibly consider my application? And a lot of times, I've seen a lot of times the admissions committees bend. They let you apply even if you have a little bit lower score than their minimum limit. So keep that in mind, guys. And apart from that, I think you'll be the best judge to go forward with the process. Okay. Mm, so 99 channel asks, make videos about selection and all selection for undergrads. Yeah, section undergrads too. All right, all right. Yeah, definitely. I do look forward to making more videos for undergrads as well. I think that most of the content that I'm trying to create right now is more focused on a general class of applicants. So it can apply to undergrads as well. It can apply to, graduates, masters, PhDs, both of them as well. But yes, when the channel started, our main focus was just masters and PhDs. But yes, undergrads are definitely welcome. We're working with a lot of them. So yeah, I think, more of that is definitely in order. They ask, are there any scholarships available now? That's a very good question, Uday. So, I think the main criteria that I've seen for scholarships is that universities will offer you scholarships with your admission as well, only if you are applying early. That's what I have seen. Number one criteria, your academic credentials should be good. And secondly, your time of application should be around October, at max October end. So, in general, if you do that, you will see a lot of scholarships coming in your way. Almost every admit will come with scholarships. In fact, this term, I personally also applied for a couple of MBA programs, and I just got two decisions as of now. Both of them are admits, and both of them have scholarships. One of them has a 40%, which raised to 50% when I negotiated with them, and the second one has a $10,000 scholarship. So both of them gave me scholarships. They're very, very keen on giving them out, but you need to apply early, and you should have great academic credentials. Your score should be top notch, and apart from that, your profile should be top notch. Okay. Um, all right, a couple of more questions. They're a little bit too fast. Um, all right. So this says I applied recently in December first week. So yeah, you may have some chances of scholarship, but generally they're a little bit lower when you apply in December. All right. Okay. So Srinath asks, will universities consider GRE score after Corona? GRE score. I think you're talking about the waivers, right? Yeah. So I don't think the waivers will last after the whole pandemic is gone. After vaccine is out, I think you're gonna have to take the GRE regardless. So in my opinion, you should not skip it. All right. So Rishabh asks, I have a 9.42 pointer, GRE 305, TOEFL 91, 4 months internship, two international papers published. Do I have a chance in UIUC? So Rishabh, what I'll have to do is I'll have to compare your profile with other profiles who have worked with us previously and made it to UIUC or similar ranks of universities. So in order to do that, what you can take a look at is the profile evaluation and university shortlisting service on Grad. It's definitely affordable, and you'll get a list of services, a list of universities that you should apply to. It's an optimal mix so that you can aim ambitiously, and at the same time you don't end up in a scenario where you don't have any admits at all. That's the goal of the service, guys. So you should definitely take a look at that, particular universities, your profiles, and whether you should apply to a particular place or not, because when you apply, you'll be spending more funds at even a single university. When you apply to 10 universities, you're spending the amount. What we'll be doing is we'll be taking one times that amount just for a single university, and we'll be giving you an optimal mix of university. And remember, no tie-ups, so you get the absolutely accurate results in that case. Um, all right, I think there's a couple of more questions. All right, so any possibility of getting scholarships in undergrad with less 10 score but high 11th and 12th score? Yes, definitely the possibilities are there. I've seen a couple of applicants that I've personally worked with as well that they do get scholarships even based on their class 11 or class 12 tentative scores, but you need to show a continuous record that yes, you've been maintaining these scores for the last 2 years. Also, it's good enough. At the same time, you need to have, apart from the academics, you should have a lot of other things going on as well. I can't get into that right now, but I think you'd know what I'm talking about. Josh asks, is 8.7 a good GPA for Mscs in USA? Yes, it's a good GPA. It's a decent GPA, but I would say the top 10 universities are a little bit out of reach for an 8.7. All right. Um, So Ashish asks, does class 12 marks needed for admission in masters? No, class 12 marks are not considered. They're not required. No university will almost no university will ever ask you for class 12 results. Okay. All right. So Karthik again asks, please suggest a few safe universities for MEM, GPA 6.5, industrial engineering background, 2.5 years work ex, 97 in TOEFL. All right, Karthik, that's again, I'm gonna have to redirect you to the profile evaluation and university shortlisting service. You should definitely take a look at that, and I'll just type the link to the service catalog. You can go ahead, take a look at that, and hopefully, it's gonna help you out. All right, that's it. Okay. So Abdullah asks, should I drop a year and prepare for the SAT so that I apply early and I can get a scholarship? That's an okayish idea. I mean, if you feel that 1 year of your time is worth, risking, and remember, there's no guarantee that you'll get a scholarship, of course. But at the same time, yes, I know a lot of students take a drop year. They figure out what they want, and generally, it's a good idea as long as you can stay focused. You're not wasting your time. And drop years can be helpful. I would say if you absolutely need to, then sure, but it may not be worth it if you're just waiting for a scholarship, and that's why you're taking the drop year. That can mean 1 year of your time can be wasted, and you may still not get anything in your hands. All right. Shivam asks, does YMGrad provide services for European universities? Yes, so we provide services for a lot of European universities. In fact, a lot of countries in Europe. You can actually check the list of countries that we support. We have data for all of those countries. It can be Germany, it can be Netherlands, it can be France. A lot of countries that Germany, of course, is one of the top destinations in Europe. So that's one of the major ones. But again, there's a lot more. We've helped people with Sweden, we've helped people with UK, a lot of other countries as well. All right. um okay. So Shivam says, "Hello Yash, I've got admit from the USC for MSCS fall 2021. Should I go for it? What do you suggest? Would love to hear from you." So Shivam, it depends on how many admits you have. If you just have maybe this one admit as of now and all of the other ones are rejects, then yes, of course you should go for it. But it completely depends on your other admits as well. If you have some better offers, because USC is definitely costly. So if you have some better offers, you should still wait and take a look at them. Or if you're waiting some, you should not make your decision in a hurry. So Malav asks, what CGPA is considered good for MS? Anything above 8, 8.35, even 8.5, that's considered really good. But anything below 7 is considered kind of bad, and you're going to have to compromise on the tier 1 universities per se. So yeah, that's one thing to note. But again, it depends on your program as well. I've seen people with 6.6 go into the top 30 universities for MIS. So completely depends on your program. But if these people had applied to MSCS, that's a lot more competitive. So they may not have been able to make it. So yeah. All right. Should an undergrad give TOEFL? Ashish, yes, you will need either the TOEFL or the IELTS to apply to universities overseas, even if you're an undergraduate student. All right. Is there any service for improving SOP? I've already made one, but not very confident. So, cost of, yes, we can consider your old resume your old SOP that you've already built. You can submit it to us in the SOP drafting service. The charges remain the same. But if you just want a review of your SOP, but apart from that, we'll include the LORs in application as well. Then there's the application review service that you can take a look at. But in general, if you just need help with the SOP, then you should just go with the SOP drafting service. It will include improving your previous draft as well. All right. So Arvind asked, does WAMGrad article of GRE waiver cover all US universities? So, Arvind, it's actually not exhaustive. The reason is we try to include only the tier 1 and at max tier 2 universities. We don't go below that, to be very honest with you. But the point is that these universities, every single day, every few days, a university is coming out with, hey, now we're also offering GRE waivers. So these things keep changing, is what I'm trying to say. So yes, we do update the blog every single every 2 or 3 weeks, you can say, every fortnight the blog is updated. But at the same time, it's not exhaustive. So yeah, definitely there's more universities out there which are offering the waivers. But the most common ones and the ones that you should be interested in, that you should apply to, they're already included. All right. So Yashi Singh asks, resume 1 page or 2 page? In general, it's a simple rule. If you have less than 4 or 5 years of work experience, it should be one page. If you have more than 4 or 5 years of work experience, it should be 2 pages. Or if you're applying for a PhD, then it can be more than 1 page. In that case, that's an exception, though. All right. Okay. So Prem asks, "Hi Yash, is it good to go after 4 years of experience? I didn't even start the GRE and IELTS. So when do I have to plan?" So Prem, what you can do is you can connect with me. We can help you with the process. All you need to do is take your test of the IELTS or the TOEFL. The GRE is not needed for this term. You can go and you can potentially avoid wasting 1 more year in just applications. And GRE prep takes a lot of time as well. So you can avoid all of that this year. What you need to do is connect with me. All you need to do is just take the test, and the rest of the process we can handle for you. Okay. All right. Let's see. Nayan says, "Can you make a section on Grad with universities that have co-op?" Actually, you know what? That's a very good idea. I'm gonna note that down if possible. I'm gonna just try to find my notepad and I'm just gonna write it down over here. So what I'll do is in the upcoming few days, we'll just build you a blog on that, and I think it should be helpful for a lot of other people as well. That's a good idea. So blog on, what did you say again? Um, what was it? I'm forgetting. All right, co-op programs, co-op offering universities. All right, that's down. So that will appear within the next few days, at max the next 1 or 2 weeks. All right, so it will be done. All good. All right. Um, let's see other questions. Um, All right. So there's a couple more. Tech Guru says, "Can a commerce student do MIS program?" Yes, you very well can. I don't see any reason why you cannot. But make sure you're above the minimum requirement. So that's just the one thing that you need to keep a check on. Keep a track of what kind of minimum requirements your degree, your program requires. That's all. Okay. So, all right. Is it possible for a mechanical engineering BTech student with 9.5 GPA get MSCS in top 15 universities? Yes, it's very well possible. You can make it to the top 15, but I don't think that this is a topic for a blog, to be honest. So you can take a look at the profile evaluation university shortlisting service. That will help you massively. Okay. Other questions I can see over here. Hussein asks, "I'm already received my I-20 and I'm applying to the ESL program. After that, I will continue my higher education with chance to get the visa. I'm applying from Kiev, Ukraine." So I'm not really sure what your question is, Hussein, over here. You definitely have an equivalent chance as compared to other applicants. There's really no bias. Even if you apply from Ukraine, it's fine. Okay. So Shivam asks, "NYU or USC, which one would be better?" So Shivam, as you may understand, I also had both of these admits for fall 2019. I personally chose USC due to its reputation, and personally, I prefer the California area. It completely depends on you. The costs will be very, very similar, but at the same time, it really depends on your preference, where you want to go, and what kind of facilities you're getting over there. Personally, I would still prefer USC for some reason. All right. So Ajay asks, which one we need to enter in portal for applying, percentage or CGPA? So Ajay, usually it's the CGPA that you're entering on the application portals. Usually you do not enter the percentage, but at the same time, if your university is only giving you a percentage, then you can enter, the sorry, the percentage, and you can mention over there that it's out of 100. Okay. All right. Bidesh asks, "MCA 7.5 CGPA, 2 years experience, fall 2022, MS in data science." So Bidesh, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble because you've done, sorry, MCA, right? So you've already had 4 years of experience. You can definitely make it for the MS in data science program. In fact, I would urge you to apply right now if possible for fall 2021, because you don't really need to take the GRE then, and that saves you an awful amount of time for both preparation and 1 good year of your life that you're going to be wasting just preparing. You can go right now. Okay. Right. And it's a very good response, guys, but just look at the comments, how fast they are reeling through. It's very hard for me to read these at the speed. Anyway, um so we're going to get a list of Spring University for 2022 spring in USA, because whatever availability is for fall only. No, I think a lot of universities offer programs in spring. Yes, there are definitely not as much programs available in spring as fall, but you don't really need a list for that. Just go ahead, check the universities that you're interested in, and they'll let you know on their websites itself. All right. So Vishnu says, "Hey Yash, I have a 9 CGPA, 324 GRE, 2.5 AWA, 6.5 in hours. Do I have a chance to get into top universities?" So Vishnu, again, I'm going to urge you to go ahead, check the Profile Evaluation University Shortlisting Service. I may not be able to evaluate a profile so fast right now. It takes hours for me to do that. Okay. Manal says, I don't have money for proving funds. So there's a couple of alternatives. If you need to prove funds just for proof, you can take it from your relatives temporarily. Or what you can do is you can get a sanction letter from, one of the loaning agencies out there. And, with about 1% of the amount, you can get the sanction letter in your hands and you can show it to the universities that, yes, you have an approved loan. All right. Let's see a couple more. Shivam says, I've done MTech in 2020, but no research paper published. Should I go for MS or PhD? So Shivam, you can still go for a PhD. It's a little bit of a complicated scenario. If you'd like me to handle your case personally, I can do that as well. You can check out the services, but generally you can make it to PhD programs as well, given that you have excellent academic credentials. That's one thing to keep in mind. All right. Um, So Weber says BCA in 2022 and want to apply to fall 2022. Can I apply for fall 2022 in September 2021 when I'll be in my second year? Weber, you can definitely apply, but we have a blog on this on Grad, which universities accept 3-year degrees. You can apply, but generally US universities prefer that you should have at least 4 years of educational experience. So you may need to do some sort of a PGDM program before going overseas. All right. Um, I think that's pretty much it. I think we've spent a good amount of 30 minutes together, guys, today. And you know what? I want to keep these short because it's kind of tiring as well. But I'll definitely be taking more doubts in the next few sessions. I think the next one will be on my Instagram, so you should definitely consider checking that out. I'm not sure if I can. I don't think I can share my screen over here, but you can take a look at my Instagram. It's Mitrayash, MITTRAYASH. So you can go ahead, follow me over there. We have a lot of helpful posts for you over there as well. And again, like I said, we'll be in touch. I'll do the next one on Instagram in the next coming 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll be very happy to help you with your doubts any further. In case you'd like me to help you with your process personally, one on one, what you can do is you can take a look at the ymgrad.com services page. And every single service over there, I'm a part of it. So you'll make sure that you're working directly with me. All right. Have a good day. Thank you so much for joining in today. I really appreciate it taking out time on your Sunday, being with me over here. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Take care.